Hold up, hold up, hold up. What if I told you that Machine Gun Kelly, yes, that Machine Gun Kelly, was this close to starring in a massive Michael B. Jordan-led blockbuster, but walked away because of one word he refused to say? We need to talk about this. What is up, everybody? And welcome back to Extra Hot Topic, the place where we get into the spiciest, most talked about stories buzzing around Hollywood and beyond. I'm your host, and today we have a story that is just wow. It's got layers. We're talking about Machine Gun Kelly, a blockbuster movie called Sinners that sounds absolutely wild. The one and only Michael B. Jordan, and a major moral stand that honestly has me looking at MGK in a whole new light. So grab your snacks, get comfortable, because we just got the tea from MGK's recent appearance on the Pat McAfee Show. And trust me, you're gonna wanna hear this. Let's get into it. Alright, so I'm scrolling through the latest entertainment news, and this headline just pops out at me. Machine Gun Kelly turned down potential Sinners role over script's N-word requirement. My first thought? Okay, respect. My second thought, tell me everything. So, MGK was on the Pat McAfee Show on Thursday, July 31st. Great show, by the way. And he drops his bombshell that he was supposed to audition for a movie called Sinners. Now, before we even get into the drama, let's talk about this movie, because the description they give is bananas. So Sinners is apparently this 1930s cinematic masterpiece about two slick twins, Smoke and Stack. First of all, amazing names. They travel back home to the deep Mississippi Delta to open a Juke Joint with stolen money. Okay, I'm already in. A period piece? Juke Joints? Stolen cash? This sounds like a vibe. But wait, it gets better, as they create this space for black folks to enjoy some down-home blues. And I quote, descendant vampires viscously attempt to intrude and recruit as many guests they can to the immortal side. Vampires in a 1930s Juke Joint. Are you kidding me? This isn't just a movie. This is an experience. It's like Interview with the Vampire had a baby with the color purple. And who is starring in this epic tale? None other than Michael B. Jordan. Of course he is. The man has impeccable taste. The article even has a quote from MBJ himself saying, people are calling it a horror. But it's like, no, it's so many different genres mixed up into one. You find yourself laughing, you find yourself crying, you're jumping because you're scared. The movie supposedly raked in $61 million globally. So this was a certified hit. So now we have the context. A massive, successful, critically acclaimed genre-bending vampire Juke Joint movie starring Michael B. Jordan. This is the kind of movie actors dream of being in. So where does Machine Gun Kelly fit into all of this? Well, he was up for the role of the villain. He says, Sinners, I was supposed to be in that. He's reflecting on movies he's had to pass on. And he explains that the character, the villain, says the N-word, and I just wouldn't do it. He just lays it out there, plain and simple. I just wouldn't do it. Can we just pause for a second and appreciate that? In an industry where people are often pressured to do things that go against their values for the sake of a role or a paycheck, my man just drew a hard line in the sand. He's a Caucasian rapper, an actor, and he understood that there are certain lines you just don't cross. That's not his word to say, not his story to tell in that specific way. And he said, nah, I'm good. And you know what makes this even better? The reaction on the show. The script says that in a moment of solidarity, the show's black co-host proudly reached over to give him a fist bump. Yes! That's the energy we love to see. It's that unspoken understanding. It's that I see you and I respect you for that. It's not about being woke or performative. It's about basic human decency and respect. He didn't make a big spectacle out of it. He just stated his boundary. That fist bump says it all. This actually makes me think about MGK's acting career in general. A lot of people just know him for his music or his public persona, but he's quietly been building a really interesting filmography. Let's see, he was in The Dirt, the Motley Crue biopic where he played Tommy Lee, and he was fantastic in that. He had roles in Bird Box, Project Power with Jamie Foxx, and The King of Staten Island with his buddy Pete Davidson. So he's not new to this. He's been putting in the work, and it seems like he's been intentional about the roles he takes. For him to see a project of this magnitude with this cast and still be willing to walk away because it compromised his principles, that adds a whole new layer to him as an artist and a person. It's one thing to say you have morals, it's another to stand by them when millions of dollars and a blockbuster credit are on the line. This situation also brings up a much bigger conversation about Hollywood in general, right? The use of slurs in scripts. It's a debate that's been going on for years. You have filmmakers like Quentin Tarantino, who are famous for using the N-word extensively in their films, arguing it's for historical accuracy and character authenticity. And you have a lot of actors like Samuel L. Jackson who have defended that usage in specific contexts. But then you have this counter argument, which is just as valid, about the impact of hearing that word, especially when it's not necessary for the plot, and the discomfort it can cause for actors and audiences alike. There's a famous story about Leonardo DiCaprio being really hesitant and uncomfortable saying the N-word in Django Unchained. Apparently, Samuel L. Jackson and Jamie Foxx had to pull him aside and basically say, hey man, this is just another Tuesday for us. We're just playing characters. But the fact that he was so deeply uncomfortable shows the weight that word carries. So for MGK to just say, nope, not for me, is a powerful statement. He didn't want to be the white actor who gets a pass to say it. For art. He just removed himself from the equation entirely, and that's a choice you have to respect. Okay, but can we go back to the vampire Juke Joint for a second? I'm just picturing MGK as a 1930s vampire villain. What would that even look like? Would he have the tattoos? Would he be trying to turn the blues singers into his immortal minions? The possibilities are endless. I'm creating fan fiction in my head right now. Imagine Michael B. Jordan's character Smoke facing off against the vampire Machine Gun Kelly in the Mississippi Delta. The style, the swagger, the absolute chaos. Man, what a movie that would have been. I'm almost sad we didn't get to see it, but I'm also incredibly glad he stood his ground. It's a weird mix of emotions. It just goes to show you that there's so many what-ifs in Hollywood, so many casting choices that almost happened that would have completely changed the movies we know and love. But this one feels different. It's not just about a scheduling conflict or creative differences. It's about integrity. And that right there is some extra hot topic level news. And that is the story of how Machine Gun Kelly chose his principles over a potential blockbuster role. I have to say, my respect for him went up about 1,000%. But what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. Do you respect his decision? Are you now secretly dying to see this fictional Sinners movie as much as I am? Let's talk about it. As always, thank you so much for hanging out with me today on Extra Hot Topic. If you like this video and want to stay up to date on all the hottest stories, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a video. Until next time, stay spicy.